Oh, damn. My head. Hello guys, Ultra-Crist. I'm kinda stuck in an island the Media Busters told me to go to. They said they will be pick me up soon. This son of a bitch of a X-Wing broke down on me, possibly because I'm a terrible fucking pilot. Hey, this reminds me. Drake Bell's original dad from the pilot reminds me of Big Chungus. TV pilots. To simply explain them for my younger viewers, pilots are like TV shows' first baby steps before they get produced. Pilots could end up walking successfully, or they could fall off and never be seen ever again. They also go through drastic changes post-pilot if they get approved. Knowing the world of Lost Media, there are many Lost pilots. They are a big part of the Lost Media community. Just check right now. Go to the Lost Media Wiki or the Lost Media Archive and search Lost Pilots and you'll see a bunch of them. Like, holy shit. There are a bunch of pilots in here. Today, I'll be going through a bunch of TV pilots that I handpicked and explain a description of each while comparing them to the final product that came after. Lastly, I won't be covering all the Lost pilots we already mentioned in the two main videos that we've did in the past. So get your seatbelts ready and kind of play Airplane, the film from the 1970s or some shit like that. And let's go through some Lost TV pilots, baby.
I hate this channel.
No! No!
Whatever, let's start with this one. The Backyardigans is an interesting piece when it comes to Lost Pilots. I won't explain too much because it's already been covered to death in this goddamn community. Briefly, Backyardigans had two pilots, which are lost. Of course, the first one being Me and My Friends. The big notable difference of this pilot from the final show is that it is, of course, live action than the CGI animated form they continue to do afterwards. The designs are creepy, I'm not gonna lie. They give me this FNAF spooky vibe that they're gonna kill me one day and hide under my bed and I'm gonna shit my pants. Austin was also not a part of this pilot. The pilot was shot in 1998 in Nick Studios, Florida, rest in peace. But holy shit, I'm telling you guys, this has been one of the biggest searches for a pilot I had witnessed. LSSQ and the Me and My Friends search team were able to find the set photos of the pilot, but the search kinda died down afterwards. I do hope that the Me and My Friends pilot will still be found someday. I'm not saying this at gunpoint, I'm just saying this because it seems like an interesting topic, and I think we all need to have common sense and be patient about this discovery. But for now on, you know where to find me.
More like me and my cum stains.
Oh wait, I forgot. It's not only me and my cum stains that we need to do, it's also the second pilot too. Damn. There is also the second pilot of the Backyardigans that is more faithful to what would become the original series. There hasn't been that much known about this pilot, since the search is kind of way more lower than the Me and My Friends search. However, the Lost Media community did found a few clips. The clips include Pedro, Uniqua, and Tyrone dancing in what seems to be a playground or the backyard, and it seems to me that with the audio, one of the clips that were found were actually from a Nick Jr. bumper too. I would also say to beware, as there are some videos from both the Me and My Friends and Backyardigans animated pilot that have been proven to be fake. It's just plainly people changing the audio and shit like that. I can't believe I'm talking about this without joking about it. Some people will get this show while watching it. You know who you are. I really love the Earthworm Jim games. It is a very fun platformer and the art style is really cool. Due to the popularity back in the 90s of these games, an animated series was made for the Saturday night block of WB Kids. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Earthworm Jim pilot. Okay, no joke. Let's just talk for a sec. Back in late 2020, I was given an invite to this Discord server to search for the Earthworm Jim pilot. It was stated to be an epic quest, but in reality, it was like I was in a desert with nothing going on, plus the owner pinging me like every time he was active. But in all seriousness, there isn't that big details that I can find of this pilot. What I was told from the Discord server with proof that the pilot was shown only with screenshots for an article on a gaming magazine, I believe announcing the show for the very first time. These screenshots include Jim sleeping in his bed, and 2 photos showing him against a monster, as well as what possibly seems like the intro to the pilot too. I haven't seen the Earthworm Jim series, but I thought this was an interesting topic to put on due to the background I have with the search. Like with the Backyardigans pilot, the search for the Earthworm Jim pilot has been long dead, with the original owner / leader of the search leaving due to some issues. So, just to help out the search, there will be a link description below for the epic quest for the Earthworm Jim pilot. If this title sounds like a teen Disney sitcom, then you are actually right. Dollar Freshmen was a TV pilot Disney ordered for their brand new channel back then called Disney XD, the badass channel for grown Disney fans and not those little babies. This pilot would later spawn off into Lab Rats, which was a show I really enjoyed on Disney XD, mostly because of it being aimed at the superhero genre. But instead of them being called superheroes, they are kind of known as bionic. Basically humans with superpowers thanks to the chip that they have in back of their necks or something like that grant them super abilities. The show went on to rule Disney XD and led to a spin-off series called Elite Force. And it wasn't elite, I can tell you that, as it only ran for a year before getting cancelled in between a cliffhanger, you sons of Anyways, besides the point, the pilot Dollar Freshmen was shot in 2010 and featured almost the same cast from what would become Lab Rats except for Bree. Chase's name was also originally Brad, and Donald Davenport's character was named Gil L. Ahoy. The show was being produced and directed by Mark Sandrowski from Big Time Rush. This island's getting fucking thundering right now. The plot of the pilot was drastically different and interesting than expected for me, the #1 greatest Lab Rats fan of all time. Instead of it being about secret bionic heroes saving the day while going through high school in the real world, Dollar Freshman was focused on 2 bionic brothers, Adam and Brad, who lay low in high school while being on the run from the US government and fight for survival as well. Oh my god, that is kinda more darker than I expected from Lab Rats. What the shit is this, a CW show? It would also explain that the brothers were clones, and Brad would have been a newly created clone of its successor. Family Guy.
What kind of music do you like, Gloria?
Hippo hop. Woohoo! Yeah, baby.
Dude, those animals are so funny. They make me want to.
Just Family Guy. It's a show about a family and their whole city of Coag and how normal it is. Yeah, this show will always be bonkers. Back when the show was starting, of course, there was a pilot to pitch the show to the networks at Fox. Fox gave young Seth MacFarlane a small budget of $50,000 for the pilot, and he spent 6 months in total creating what would become a art of cinema. The pilot was also co-created by Jim Keeshney. Reportedly, Jim said one night to himself, "You know what? I'm gonna be sus today." He took the entirety of credit for the pilot and sued Seth and Fox in a lawsuit which quickly backfired on his ass. Only 7 minutes of the pilot is available online, ending abruptly with a coming soon bumper. I honestly enjoyed this pilot, to be honest. It is very funny. The noticeable difference from the pilot is of course the art style it went through. The cast was kinda the same. I'm not sure if Pilot Chris is Seth Green, but I'm aware that Meg is played by a different voice actress than Mila Kunis. The plot for the pilot actually was redone into the first official episode of the show, and since I'm a big fan of the Family Guy lore, I actually found an interesting detail between the pilot and the actual first episode of Family Guy. In the pilot, after Peter loses his job since he was drunk from a late night party, he actually tells Lois about his firing, even though she is of course disappointed. However, in the first actual episode of the series, Peter actually keeps the news that he got fired away from Lois, so she wouldn't be upset. Eventually, she finds out at the end of the episode. SpongeBob. He has had a lot of pieces of lost media throughout the years. I'm surprised that no one hasn't done a video documenting it. Bray, write that down please, before someone takes it. After Rocco's Modern Life ended, some crew members of the show, alongside with Steven Hillenburg, began work on a show called SpongeBoy Ahoy. The pilot was made on November 16, 1997, however, the pilot was never released to the public. Outside of that, not that much is known about the pilot's plot. Apparently, it was identical to the first official episode of the series, Help Wanted, which kinda makes sense. In 2009, a rare screenshot from the storyboard for the pilot was found, where SpongeBob would audition for a job at the Krusty Krabs, pretty identical to the first official episode of SpongeBob. The reason why SpongeBoy Ahoy transitioned from the name of SpongeBob SquarePants was due to a cleaning product of the same name being called SpongeBoy existing, so it had to be reworked in order to avoid copyright issues. In 2016, LMW user NormTando64 found in the Nickelodeon Animation 25-year anniversary video a screenshot of the pilot. The video has been removed but archived. The shot shows SpongeBob wearing a badge with his SpongeBoy name on it. The area seems to be at the Krusty Krabs for some reason, but I think it might be in the boating school, since the logo of the school matches the logo in his badge. As of recently, Lost Media Central has made a ARG based on the lost pilot of SpongeBoy, which has led to mixed conceptions of it being the actual thing. Man, sometimes I wish we got Super Sentai here than Power Rangers. The Japan superhero TV series is actually turning 55 years old, which is really cool. But have you guys ever wondered if Power Rangers released early in the West? In 1986, Haim Saban made his first attempt to bring the Super Sentai franchise to the Western audience, with his pitch pilot that was an adaptation to Bioman. In Japan, Bioman was the 8th entry in the franchise. The story involved 5 bioparticles that were showered on 5 warriors centuries ago, and now their descendants fight as the Bioman against a new evil empire led by a villain named Dr. Man. No, I'm being serious. His name's actually Dr. Man. The Bioman American pilot would have focused on 5 kids with biorhythm that fight against Sadar, a half-robot and half-human villain. According to the Los Angeles Times, the pilot would have been similar to the Day of Dumpster pilot from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. A character in Bioman, named Bioman, would have been a mentor figure to the team, and gave the teenage kids powers, similar to Sordon. Alpha 5 was also planned to make his first appearance in the Bioman series, and he was going to be the adaptation of Peebo from the Japanese version. The pilot never got picked up by any networks and hasn't been released. In 2016, a search started in the Lost Media forums. The search led to them finding some snippets of the pilot were reused in the Day of the Dumpster pilot. The search got in contact with actor Miguel A. Nunez Jr. He says he has a copy of the pilot in a storage unit. However, he hasn't released it to this day. The promotional material was also found, and lastly, a petition was made to release this pilot as well. When production started on Bob the Builder, Hit Entertainment made a pitch pilot for the show in 1997. Well, I think you know what this calls for. I shall create 90s gang. It includes all of the pilots that were made in the 1990s. Hit only screened the pilot to executives on May of the same year. The pilot involves Bob and his best friend Digger doing some activities and working with each other, like a usual episode of the show. However, both characters' designs were different. Bob wore a red shirt and dotted realistic eyes than his dot ones from the final product, and also Digger looked more adorable with a human-like mouth. Originally, concept art showed a more realistic approach to him. looking more like Hello Governor from regular show. For years, only one set photo was available online to prove this pilot's existence. It isn't until late 2020 when King Mr. Harvey was sent the pilot by one of the producers. Later, Mike Smith was able to release the pilot on archive.org. I'm doing this one only because the Media Busters now have me at gunpoint to cover this topic. I'm sorry, I keep on going.
Shut up and continue.
Jack's Big Music Show was a short-lived puppet music show on Noggin, Nickelodeon's sister channel for dumb babies.
It's not for dumb babies, it's for people with true hearts.
Okay, whatever. The series follows Jack and a 8-year-old boy who loves to make music. Jack, along with his best friends Mary and Mel, create music. The trio is often accompanied by other puppets or human musicians. At the end of each episode, a big finale song is performed. The pilot is another example of something that is completely lost that I don't know how to compare it to the main source material. Its existence has been confirmed via an interview with songwriter Laura Barkner. It has also been confirmed in an interview with American singer-slash-songwriter Kathy Richardson that she had voiced Mary in the pilot. Alongside with the resume of the director of photography who worked on the pilot, it was stated it was created in 2003 under the name of Jack's Big Show, and it included singer-songwriter Dane Sands of the Del Fuegos.
Anyways guys, thank you again for watching this brand new The Media Busters video. Don't worry, we will primarily make Lost Media videos for the time being. Make sure to like and subscribe, and this is Bray Bray from The Media Busters signing out. Now it's time to beat up Ultra-Crist.
Wait, I'm sorry.